let's talk about something that can truly transform your classroom, making learning more cohesive and deeply meaningful for your students. Whether you're an experienced educator or just starting out, creating an environment where all subjects feel connected is one of the most rewarding aspects of teaching. The best part? It doesn't require an expensive new app or a complete curriculum overhaul, just a shift in perspective and an understanding of how our students' brains are wired to learn. So, grab a coffee or a tea, get comfortable, and let's explore practical ways to use cross-curricular storytelling to unlock your entire curriculum. We all know that one of the biggest challenges we face as educators is the fragmentation of knowledge. We teach history in one block, science in another, and language arts in a third. For our students, this can make learning feel like a series of isolated boxes, and they can struggle to see the connections or understand how it all matters in the real world. This can lead to glazed over looks, the disengagement, and the nagging feeling that we're just racing to cover material instead of helping them truly learn it. It's overwhelming for us, and frankly, it's boring for them. Does that sound familiar? So what if we could weave those separate threads into a single, cohesive experience? That's exactly what cross-curricular storytelling does. It's an approach where you integrate the content and skills from multiple subjects, all anchored by a central narrative. Instead of teaching isolated facts, you create an experience. But why is this so effective? This method transforms abstract content into a relatable journey, making lessons more memorable because it engages emotions and imagination. This creates an immersive learning experience that helps students retain information far more effectively than just memorizing facts for a test. To truly understand how it works, we need to look beyond the labels. It's easy to say this is a history lesson or this is a science lesson, but that doesn't tell us how a student experiences the content. The good news is that our brains are naturally wired for narrative. It's a fundamental way we organize information, understand cause and effect, and build empathy. By framing lessons as stories, you tap into this natural cognitive tool and encourage students to think critically as they connect ideas in a new context. So what does this actually look like in a classroom? Here are a couple of examples. 1, a science-focused story. Instead of just listing the stages of the water cycle, have your students create a story from the perspective of a single water molecule. Its journey could start in the ocean, geography. Get evaporated by the sun, physics. Form a cloud, meteorology. And fall as rain on a historical landmark, history. To tell the story accurately, students would have to research and integrate the scientific vocabulary and processes, maybe by creating a short animated video or a comic book. 2, a project-based narrative. Let's take a bigger example, ancient Rome. Instead of a traditional history unit, you could launch a project to rebuild a Roman city. Your students become a team of city planners. They must research Roman architecture and engineering to design buildings, arts and STEM. They need to calculate the costs of materials and labor for their aqueducts, math. They can write and perform a play about a day in the life of a Roman citizen to understand the social structure, language arts, and history. Each subject becomes a tool to solve a piece of a larger puzzle, making learning feel relevant and collaborative. Now, I know many of you might be thinking, this sounds great in theory, but how do I possibly find the time for this? It's a completely valid concern, given everything on our plates as educators. But I'd encourage a shift in perspective here. This approach is actually a time saver in the long run. When students are engaged and can see the connection between subjects, they learn more deeply. You spend less time reteaching concepts and more time facilitating that genuine discovery. It's about working with the curriculum in a more integrated way. Ultimately, cross-curricular storytelling isn't just another teaching strategy to add to your list. It's about shifting the culture of your classroom. It's about making connections the norm, removing the walls between subjects, and helping every student see the meaning in what they're learning. As educators, we hold the power to create these changes. By implementing a narrative-driven approach, we can build classrooms that embrace curiosity instead of treating subjects as obstacles. And when we do that, we're not just shaping educational experiences. We're helping students build confidence, critical thinking skills, and a lifelong love of learning. Have you used storytelling to connect different subjects in your classroom? Seen a student thrive because a concept finally clicked through a story? I'd love to hear your experiences. Drop a comment, share your thoughts, and let's continue creating these connected, supportive learning spaces together. Subscribe for more content, follow us on Patreon for more support and resources, and check out our Digi store for mindful apparel.